Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through your amazing yin yoga practice where we are going to focus on relieving lower back pain. Lower back pain happens to 80% of the population. The more active you are, the more likely you are to experience some sort of back pain because you're moving, twisting, reaching, all that jazz. So we're going to focus on that today. This class is great for absolutely everyone. Personally, I'm experiencing some lower back pain. Sometimes it's physical. Sometimes back pain can be mental. Just, everything in your mind acting out in your body. Like if I asked you to show me some anger without expressing it on your face, you're really likely to tense up all of your muscles. Did you feel it? Did you try it? All right, so now you know that what you're thinking about or feeling mentally definitely expresses itself physically. We're going to start in 2 minutes on the floor in a supported savasana. I encourage you to be near a wall for today's practice. If you don't have a wall, that's totally okay. Maybe you have a couch, maybe you have a dresser that you can throw your legs up against. And if none of that is an option for you, you can always send your legs up to the air when we get to that portion of class. But I do recommend that you have some sort of thick support for yourself, especially if you really are experiencing any sort of back tenderness. I have a giant yoga bolster, and if you don't, maybe you have some nice floofy cushions from the couch or a pillow or two that you can grab from the bed and bring to the floor for today's practice. So I'm going to see you in 1 minute in savasana. Please don't judge my awkward movements as I work to get there. Like I said, I am feeling some back pain, but remember, movement helps. Gentle movement always helps, and that's what we're going to focus on today, on movement, on breath. And if you have time after class, stick around, put on your gentle music, keep listening to it, and I'm going to try to encourage you into a 15-minute yoga nidra related savasana. It's 4:30. Yay, so take your time. Make your way onto your mat in your space. Make sure that your props are nearby. Encourage you to have some water nearby just in case you want or need it. I'm going to take a sip right now, and then I'm just going to put it away. But please know that if you do need a sip of water, you're encouraged to enjoy it. If you can, try to hold off between the postures so that you can find your stillness. Yay! And if you can't hold off, that's fine. All right, so we're making our way down to our floor into savasana. And you can move as quickly or as slowly as you want. Oh my gosh. Okay, we made it. We're here. We're on the floor. I've already got my prop underneath of my legs. If you don't have a prop, you can always bend your knees and place the soles of the feet together and tense your feet. And we're just going to hang out here 5 minutes to start off in this savasana. So as you come down, start to scan your body. Notice where you might be holding tension. Notice if you're laying awkwardly on the floor and shake it out. Oopsie doodles. Find a position that you can hold in stillness. I'm actually going to get rid of this. For these next 5 minutes. And if you find at any point during this time that things start to really hurt, if you're finding any pain as we hold the postures, you are, of course, encouraged to please come out of the posture, find what works for you, reset yourself, and return when you're ready. For now, either finding that one spot on the ceiling above you to focus your eyes and relax your mind, or closing your eyes completely and just taking this time to tune into your breath. Simply bringing our attention to our breath can already start to slow down our inhales and exhales. Perhaps you even have already found some ujjayi breathing, a slight constriction of your throat, creating a snoring sensation as you press your tongue up onto the roof of your mouth. Work to slow your inhale and exhale down, and make sure that your breath is reaching all the way down to the bottom of your belly. Notice the sensation of lungs, belly, rib cage expanding on your inhale, and make sure you're enjoying the full emptying on your exhale, belly button sinking back towards your spine. Taking the time today to truly use your breath to always inhale in awareness. Just notice how your body is feeling. Where are you feeling any sort of stress or stretch or tension? Is it physical? Is it mental? Just noticing. And if it's something that you don't need to hold on to, if it is just stress or strain, if you're squeezing your muscles, similar to when we started class or the intro to class and we talked about trying to not show on your face but find anger and the way that we hold that in our bodies, let that go on every exhale. So take your time with your breath to be in this moment right now, just experiencing whatever it is that you are experiencing. If other thoughts start to come into your head that are anything besides your breath, your movement, your stillness, acknowledge that they're there, and then come back to this moment as much as you can. You created this time for yourself, so be present as much as possible. One more scan of your body from head to toe. Relaxing your head and your eyes. Maybe bringing a smile to your face. Truly melting into your mat from the back of your head into your shoulders. Relaxing your chest and your arms. Enjoying the rising and fall of your belly. Lower back gently sinking and supported into your mat or space. Perhaps you even notice a little stretch of your legs as those knees tent towards each other. Grounding the soles of your feet to the floor. Great, so let's go ahead and come into our first posture of the day. Well, our second, because Savasana is also a posture. Bring your arms closer by your side. Go ahead, extend your left leg out. Excuse me, bolster. Draw that right knee up towards your chest. Maybe you can even interlace your fingers on top of your knee. Maybe it feels better to interlace your fingers behind your thigh. Just finding a little stimulation of the belly. We've got about 1 minute right here. If you're keeping your breaths nice and slow, that's going to be about 6 breaths. 5 to 6. Focusing on the stretch that you're creating in your hip flexor, maybe even already starting to feel a little bit more of a stretch on the back of your thigh and your hamstring. Typically, if your lower back is hurting, your hamstrings are very tight as well. Let's go ahead and change. Release your hands from your knee. Go ahead, bring the sole of your foot to the floor. Take your time. You can even wiggle it out, especially if you're feeling lower back pain, just making sure that you're moving slowly with intention, and then draw that left leg up. Sink that back down into the mat. If it feels really uncomfortable for you to keep that opposite leg straight, you can always take a slight bend of the knee just to get a little bit more of your back on the floor. Back of the head down on the mat. Using that exhale to allow your shoulders to simply melt closer to the floor. Perhaps with your breath, your belly even comes a little bit more in contact with your thigh. Great. Go ahead and draw that right leg up to meet with your left. Even start to squeeze your knees gently towards each other. Might feel a little bit more pressure in your belly as well. Keep that chin towards your chest just to make sure you get as much of your neck and back vertebrae flat on the mat. And notice if you're really squeezing your chest to find this grip of your knees and just exhale into it. Allowing as much of your upper back body into the mat as possible. Take one more deep inhale. And your exhale, release your knees, release those feet down to the floor. Gently just windshield wipe your feet within the range of motion that feels good for you. All right, we're going to work a little bit with just the right leg, and then we'll do the left leg. So once again, I ask you to draw your right knee to your chest. I do my best to normally mirror you. However, today I'm going to do the opposite. It is not the best idea to draw your left knee in before your right, because we want to work our ascending colon on the right side before we work our descending colon. And if you do them in the opposite order, you can encourage constipation. And a lot of times lower back pain can even be caused by constipation, by gas, by stress that's just sitting in our bellies. All right, so go ahead, extend your left leg out. Remember, you can take that slight bend if you need to, if it feels uncomfortable to have that leg straight, and draw your right knee back in towards your chest. Maybe finding a little bit more pressure this time of your thigh into your belly. Take 2 more breaths right here. And then we're simply going to send that foot up to the sky. So remember, you can either have your opposite leg straight, or if you need to, ground your sole of the foot to the floor. Simply allowing the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling. You should feel a nice stretch along your hamstring. It's okay if your leg isn't as straight as mine. You're just doing the best that you can with the body that you have today. Take 2 more breaths right here. And then we're going to thread the needle. So simply relax and release that right leg to cross over the left thigh. Start to open your right knee towards the back of the room. You can keep your foot grounded, that left foot, or draw it up towards your chest. And remember, if you do anything today that does not feel good, simply go back to what did feel good. So
a little bit of a stretch for me to have that other leg lifted. I'm going to bring a prop into the party. To get a little bit extra of a stretch, lifting up my left leg onto a prop allows me to feel supported, to find that grounding of my lower back while still finding a little bit of a lift, a little extra stretch through those thighs. Beautiful. We're spending a total of about 3 minutes here in Thread the Needle. Remember, if it honors you, you can go ahead and actually reach your hands through and interlace them underneath of your left thigh, or maybe holding on to the left knee. Back to your breath. Scan your body head to toe. Relax your head on the mat. Relax your shoulders. Make sure you're still staying here in the present. Focusing on that breath. Perhaps during this longer posture, your mind went someplace else. I know mine did. If you want to tell me after class in the comments what you were thinking about, let me know after class. But for now, stay right here. We've got just about 1 minute left. If you are finding that you're having so much trouble just being right here, right now, maybe you're feeling a lot of pain today and you keep coming back to your discomfort, come back to your breath, even counting the length of your inhales and exhales, and making sure that you remove any sort of judgment. All right, we're going to increase the stretch a little bit more, coming into a reclined cow face. I think I called it something else. Shoelace. So doing your best this time to really stack one knee over the other. You're going to feel more of a stretch in your hip flexor. I feel it a lot more in my right leg quad. We've got about 1 minute here. Find some relaxation in that belly, melting that lower back to the floor. Notice where you might be holding any extra tension. See if you can relax it. I know if you're feeling a lot of discomfort, it can be scary to really exhale into that stretch. Take one more deep inhale. And then slowly, gently release your hands if they're holding onto your legs. You can start to uncross as you bring your left foot down to the floor. Inhale your right leg up towards the ceiling. Make some circles. And then relax and release that right foot down to the floor. Let's switch and do the same things on the left side. Just going to bring my bolster across my mat to provide some support if I need it. All right, so once again, drawing your left knee in towards your chest. Remember, your right leg can be straight, but if you need that extra support for your lower back, it can be bent as well. Bring that chin a little bit closer towards your chest. Open that chest, allow your shoulder tips to come closer to the mat. Take one more deep inhale. And on your exhale, send that left leg up towards the ceiling. Can you flex your toes towards your face and get the sole of the foot to press up towards the sky? And you don't need to pull your leg any closer towards you. We've just got about 1 minute here. So take 3 more breaths, relaxing into the stretch on the back of your leg and your hamstring. Maybe even feeling it in your calf, maybe even all the way down to your ankle. Take a big inhale, and on your exhale, cross that left leg over your right. Open that knee towards the bottom of your mat. You can hang out right here, noticing that stretch in that hip flexor. Or bring it more throughout the left leg by drawing your right leg up. You can reach through, thread the needle. Give it a try. Remember, what feels good on one side doesn't always feel good on the other, but what felt bad on one side might also not feel bad on the other. I'm still going to use my prop here. for a little bit of support, because remember, it's yin. We're working to relax within the stretch as much as possible. We're finding and creating a stretch that you can feel, but without really using all of your muscles to come into the stretch. So you want to make sure that the back of your head is down on the floor, that if you did thread the needle, that you're not rounding forward. Relaxed in that upper body, in your breath, in the right here, right now. Notice if there's any extra tension in your glutes and your feet. And make sure you didn't come into a stretch that's so deep that it began to limit your breath. One more minute right here. Eyes are focused on one spot or closed. Let's come on into those cow face or shoelace legs. So that deep cross of the legs, one knee on top of the other. See if you can draw those knees a little closer to your chest. You can even lift your hands up. Just placing those hands on the knees. I wish I could reach my right knee, but I can't. And it is what it is. We've got about 1 minute right here. Back to those big, slow, full breaths. Give me one more. You can start to release your hands from your knees. Begin to uncross gently as you firmly plant your right foot back to the floor. Inhale your left leg up towards the ceiling. Make some circles in one direction, in the opposite direction. Relax and release that left knee to the floor. Left knee. The left sole of the foot. We are going to bring our left knee to the floor though. Take your time. Roll over to whichever side feels good for you. Next up, we're going to go for a wide leg child's pose. Move as slowly as you need to come onto all fours. Take your time. We've already started to create some space in your breath. Tell yourself you've got this. It's going to be amazing. Still moving with that slow breath and your intention. Come towards the back of your mat. Bring a prop with you, especially if that back is hurting. It's going to be challenging to get all the way to the floor. So, using those pillows from your bed, from the couch, using a big rolled up blanket or some towels right now. If you want, you can even press them into your belly. And option to get a nice little stretch of your neck depending on how large your prop is. I'll let you know when we're about halfway through. We'll spend 2 minutes on each side. Use your exhale. See if you can sink your hips a little bit closer towards your heels. Find that lengthening of the lower back. We're working to feel that stretch in the lower back, to just relax right here. Find something that you are just aware of right now. Perhaps if you don't have a bolster or pillows, you're more aware of the stretch that's coming into your shoulders, and that's okay. Just finding what feels good for your body. And everyone's body is different. So what feels like a great stretch for me might feel like nothing for you, and maybe it feels really intense. Reminder that if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving, so find that one spot to relax your eyes. Maybe let your focus get a little bit blurry. If you have your head turned to one side, take 2 more breaths on this side. And then on your next inhale, gently lift your head up and turn it to the opposite side for 2 minutes right here. Maybe you can even use that breath to sink your hips a little closer towards your heels. Find that noticeable stretch, that lengthening that feels good right here in that lower back. I'm gonna find some modesty tucking my sweater into my pants. Do that total body scan here for our last minute and extended wide leg child's pose. Relax your mind, relax your body, relax your breath and your soul. Be here, be now. You are worth it. This moment, this breath. Take one more big inhale right here. And on your exhale, start to walk yourself up. Lift yourself gently off of your prop, just enough to move the prop out of the way. Move it in this direction. All right, we're gonna walk ourselves forward and come onto our bellies for Sphinx pose. Now, Sphinx pose might feel great. And you might come on down here and be like, well, it does not feel great. If this does not feel great for you, you get to make a nice pillow with your hands and find another stretch of the neck. We've got 3 minutes right here. Remember, you can use your props if you need to. If you want to place a prop under your head to take any stress or strain out of your neck. Get those elbows right underneath of your shoulders. Maybe even as you come into the posture, shaking your hips a little bit left and right to encourage, hi buddy, the relaxation in your lower back. And then come into your stillness. Into your focus, into your breath. Start that total body scan, head to toe. Notice where the tension keeps creeping back. For me, especially in this posture, it's in my glutes. So I have to constantly use that exhale to relax and release my glutes. And I notice how each breath doing so helps me to release my belly, release my lower back a little bit more.
If you're laying on your belly, enjoying a stretch of your neck in one direction, use your next inhale to lift your head up slowly and gently place it down. Look in the opposite direction. Feel the back side of your body expand on your breath. Two more big breaths right here. Then slowly, gently bring those arms forward. Forearms come down to the mat. Place your head down on your arms. Bend your knees. Windshield wipe your feet right and left. Oh my goodness. Relieving any tension in your lower back. This is also feeling like an amazing massage on the front of my thighs, on my quads. Free massage, you're welcome. All right, take your time. We're gonna press ourselves up, come towards whatever you're using for your wall today. Oh, that didn't feel good. Move with that intention. Next step is legs against the wall. If your back hurts, like me, think about pressing yourself back towards kneeling and then shifting your hips over to the side to gently release yourself down towards the floor. Just moving with that slow intention. We have 5 full minutes for legs up the wall pose. And we're going to stay against the wall for our next posture after that. All right. So to ease yourself down, if your back hurts, lay down on your side. Don't come directly onto your back. Just like we did when we lifted ourselves up, starting in the fetal position, rolling over onto your back, and then extending your legs up, either just to the ceiling, or maybe you have a prop you can place them against. You might even find, if you have a thin towel or a thinner pillow than my giant block, that it feels good to be a little lifted here and relaxing that lower back into something nice and smushy and cushy. I'm actually going to wiggle myself a little closer to my fake wall. Oh, so good. Breathe it out. You can do whatever you want with your arms. If you want to get a nice little stretch of the chest, bring those arms up overhead, even taking a bend of the elbows, coming into a nice goalpost arm so you can feel a little stretch in the chest, maybe even in the biceps. Might take a little bit longer to find that comfortable position for yourself here. Just do your best to get there. You know we have plenty of time for this. This is one of our longer postures of the day. And once you come into your stillness, do that total body scan from toe to head. Did you need to squeeze anything extra to come into your stillness? Legs up against the wall pose is also a beautiful asana posture to practice before bed, sending a little bit more blood flow to the heart, to the brain, just to help relax your body, relax your mind.
We're using it to really help prepare for final savasana. It's normal if you feel any trembling or shaking anywhere within your body. As we hang out in these stretches for a little bit longer, maybe you feel some gurgling in your belly from the stimulations that we did earlier. Awesome. If you are enjoying any of that, the yoga's working. And if you don't feel any of that, the yoga is still working. It's always working inside of us. One more minute right here. Back to your stillness. Stillness of the body and stillness of the mind. So make sure your thoughts are staying present. Just being aware of each breath and moment. Thanking yourself for being here right now, for creating this space in your day, to create space in your body and mind, to heal yourself from the inside out. All right, we're going to get a little extra stimulation of the belly right here, right now, by bending those knees if they were not already bent, maybe even opening them up a little bit wider, coming into a squat on the wall. So take a moment, find a nice relaxing, supported press of that lower back into your mat. Soles of the feet against the wall. We're going to spend 3 minutes right here. Okay, let me just check with myself. Yep. Ah. Scan that body, head to toe. Notice if you brought any extra tension into your shoulders, into your neck, into your jaw. If you need to, shake it out. Ah. If you need to be weird for a second so you can be still for the next 2 minutes, do it. Just be zen to the sound of Fred eating peanuts. Two more breaths right here.
Next up, we have a spine twist. So you might need to move a little bit away from the wall. Maybe you just want to be creative with your space. As you just gently roll to one side. You can start here in the fetal position. Maybe this is the spine twist that's right for you. Both eyes, both knees and arms facing in the same direction. Maybe you can open up towards the opposite side. If you need more of a spine twist, extending your lower leg and drawing your upper knee a little closer towards your extended arms. I'm going to go for a little less of a spine twist. One more minute right here. Take your time, slowly roll through the center. We're going to come to the other side, spinal twist. Just finding what feels good for your body today. Whatever it looks like. Make sure you're still enjoying those full belly breaths all the way to the very bottom of your diaphragm. One more minute right here. See if you can relax your head, your shoulders, your chest, your belly, your glutes, your legs. One more time in this twist. Last two breaths. Then slowly, gently take your time, Roll over onto your back once more. And this time I strongly encourage you to bring that prop with you, if you have one, to place a little something underneath of those legs. Just gonna rotate myself over towards my prop. To truly melt here in your final savasana, which we have about 4 minutes to do together. This time I've allowed my knees to gently fall open a little bit as opposed to tenting towards each other. If you don't happen to have a prop though, finding that tenting of those knees is going to help to relieve any pressure of the lower back. And you're encouraged to stay here for at least 4 minutes in this savasana, but if you can spend 15 or 20 minutes following up your yin with a little yoga nidra light. So we've already enjoyed the last 40 plus minutes of focus on breath and our awareness of our bodies, of our stretches of our mind. Now's the time to once again just come back to setting an intention for yourself. And remember, your intention can be as simple as just being here right now. The intention of slow breath, of the presence. Maybe you have your personal mantra that you are focusing on. I'm still trying every day to love my body the way it is right now. I am enough. During this time, feel free to welcome in any additional thoughts that you have and enjoy them without judgment. Work towards just sensing each feeling and thinking towards its opposite. If your mind goes towards the negative, what would happen if you allowed your mind to go towards the positive? Take this time in this savassana of nidra to really focus on the joy that you can create. The relaxation that your breath brings to you, how it can cleanse both your mind and your soul. Of using these slow breaths to just be in the moment right now. To be aware of how you're feeling. To accept whatever it is that you do feel. And to just work towards being the best version of yourself that you can be. Continue to connect to your heart's desires, your awareness of your breath, and whatever your intention is as you scan your body to relax as much as possible. We'll take one more silent minute together. today. I hope that you'll honor yourself by spending at least 1 more minute here in your savasana, maybe 15 if you can. As always, if you have any questions or concerns, I always encourage you to reach out. Let me know how you're feeling. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day, whatever time it might be. Namaste.